Hello.
Hello.
I just want to apologize for missing last week. It was a big old mess up that we had, so I apologize for that.
What's that mess up, Daniel?
Well, I mean, we don't need to go real into it.
Yeah,
but,
maybe we do. Maybe we do.
all right. Well, if you just want to edit in the thing from last week.
Yeah,
recording.
I will edit in what
Okay.
happened last week. Okay.
All right. Well, enjoy what happened last week that led to us skipping. I do apologize.
Kathy, roll the tape.
Now, Philip, I'm sorry, see? I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable with our last list. But you're good to do this one, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, let's get started, see?
All right, let's get started.
Top 10 inanimate objects that Daniel's attracted to.
No.
No, Philip, it was just a joke. Hey, wait, come here. Philip. Hold on, it was just a joke. Hey, Philip.
Hey.
Long time no do.
Oh.
Well, it's because you and I haven't done an episode for like 3 weeks together.
Oh, that's true.
So
I feel a little off.
I feel a little bit off too, but I think once we start going, we'll get back in the swing of things.
What if it's just like this is downhill? We're never gonna do an episode again.
The Cartoon Crushers was the climax of the show, and now we're just going
I don't know.
downhill?
I wouldn't call it the climax.
Okay.
I would call it the.
It was like the height.
No.
That was like
No.
that's like standard now.
You know.
Cartoon Crushers.
You know what makes me really upset?
What?
It is the most like one of the more popular episodes that we've had.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm
It's
glad.
probably because people love Lauren.
I heard your coworker loved it, Brian.
No.
Brian, I heard that you loved the
No.
episode.
He said that it made him very uncomfortable. But he did say that there was one part that stood out.
It was the part where that Cappy, the crappy capitalist, was doing an Al Pacino impression, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Which is pretty good.
That was a good bit.
Good job, Cappy.
But yes, back to what you said. Lauren was a good co-host, so
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since Philip walked out on me last week,
Yeah.
we were, even though it was a joke, we weren't actually going to do that list. We were going to do like
That wasn't a joke.
we were going to do winter activities, but we missed it. So
Yeah.
we'll save that one for next year, I guess.
You know what last week's winter activity was for me?
Driving away from me while I was chasing after you.
No, being sick.
Oh,
So if I sound like I don't know, I
Yeah,
sound
my-
like I'm inside of a mucus-filled cave.
that's gross.
That's why.
My nose is starting to get a little stuffed, so
Yeah,
I
you're-
apologize. Maybe this episode is going to be sick.
You're gonna be sick just in time for Christmas, Daniel.
Me, my body held off until I was done with landscaping. Then it was like,
yeah,
it did a good job.
yeah.
For sure. Towards the end there, like my last week, I had like a scratchy throat and stuff.
Yeah.
But
You get sick for like weeks.
yeah,
upon
sometimes
weeks.
months at a time.
That's because you don't stop. Neither does Lindsay. You guys have a problem.
Yeah.
I
Also don't go to the doctor when I get sick. So
I don't go to the doctor.
I don't take medicine either.
I don't. I normally try to do the more natural remedies.
The one thing I will do when I have a sore throat or a cough is right before I go to bed, I'll down NyQuil.
Yeah, that's called medicine.
Yeah, that's the only medicine I take. Because I'm not about to be up all night coughing and scratching away at my throat.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just get me to sleep and I'll deal with it in the morning.
I see.
So, well, this is a real fun conversation about sicknesses, isn't it?
Very, very interesting.
Speaking of sicknesses,
Okay.
half of what we're going to be talking about is our diseases, and the other half is great.
Yeah.
We're going to be, or do you want to say what this is, Philip? This show?
Oh, it's classic countdown conversations where we count down the best and the worst that media has to offer when we feel like it.
Today we do feel like it.
Today we actually feel like it.
And this is a kind of in the same vein as the X-Men list. This is a best and worst of media because about half of these aren't that great. I'd say about 4 of them aren't good at all, with maybe a couple things here and there.
Okay.
2 of them are all right. 2 of them are real good, and then 2 of them are great.
I see.
So we're talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Rise of Skywalker is coming out in theaters next weekend.
Yeah, so we had to do this episode real quick.
We had to do it this week because there is currently 10 live action Star Wars films that were released in theaters.
That's right. Oh yeah, there's plenty of cartoon ones.
Plenty of cartoon ones. There's one, the Clone Wars movie that came out in like 2006 or 8 or something like that. I think it was 2008. That one's not good, if I'm remembering right. However, it did spawn a great TV show,
Right.
The Clone Wars. So
it's got cool art and stuff.
it's got cool art. There's also the old Clone Wars show, the 2D animated one, and then there's the 3D animated one.
Yeah.
But again, it's not live action, so it doesn't count for this list. I just thought I would mention it.
Okay. Well,
So should we just jump right in?
yeah, I've got an honorable mention.
You do?
Yeah.
Are you gonna say that? Let me guess. Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Is it the Star Wars Holiday Special?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
What is it?
You dummy. It's Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda.
It's not a movie.
Yeah, it's a Baby Yoda. He's an honorable mention, though.
Okay, he's our new Muppet.
Yeah.
Like Muppets just deserves to be on
Yeah,
every list that
yeah.
we do, unless it's a bad one.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Because everybody loves him.
The Mandalorian is a pretty good TV show. If you haven't watched it,
Yeah.
sit down and watch it.
And you got to be ready that it's not. So I've learned.
Yeah. Hold on, no spoilers.
No, this isn't a spoiler.
Okay.
Well, Baby Yoda basically is a spoiler.
Not
but if
really,
you don't
though.
know about it.
Yeah, but
you're
he
kinda
comes in
crazy.
the first episode,
Yeah.
so like whatever.
Yeah, so you're laughing at your phone and not at me.
I'm listening to you. I was trying to find our list. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So anyway, I kind of forget what I was going to say now.
About Baby Yoda.
Yeah, man, it was going to be good.
Okay. Well, if you think about it any time during this list, then just yell it.
Yeah, but now it's just not the time
Yell it
anymore.
at me.
Let's get on.
Okay. So let's start with our number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10. Do you want to do evens or odds?
I want to do evens.
Okay.
So number 10 is. Let me pull up the list.
Yeah.
It is.
It's pretty obvious. We've already talked about how much we don't like this movie.
Well, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember which one went where.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Because there's two bad.
there are
very
two really
bad.
very bad ones. Yeah.
And this would be Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
So if you haven't ever seen the movie
Mm-hmm.
and you'd really just like to be spoiled and would rather listen to our podcast,
Right.
there is an episode called Star Wars Attack of the Clones 2 that we did where Daniel explained the story to me. Well, first
Philip tried to explain it to me.
I went off of memory.
Right. I did too. And I haven't gone back to re-listen to that episode and like see if I was right about everything.
Pretty sure that's
but
our lowest listened to episode.
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, George Lucas.
Yeah. Your dumb movie made our podcast not be listened to.
It was basically unlistenable.
So I don't think we have to spend a whole lot of time on this one since we do have an entire episode dedicated to it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just bad.
It is surprising that we have a whole episode dedicated to a really bad one.
And there's not much that you can even say that hasn't been said already about this movie. It's just, I think one of the biggest problems of it is aside from writing and acting and plot holes and plot and whatever else, it's just boring. It's just
Yeah.
a boring movie.
Yeah. I did see on the internet the other day
Yeah.
that it was like kind of a little thank you to Star Wars Attack of the Clones.
Oh,
Well, actually the prequels.
okay.
Not a thank you, a compliment
What was it saying?
that George Lucas learned how to perfectly portray an awkward teenager.
Oh, and Anakin?
And Anakin.
More like a sadistic teenager. I mean, yeah, he is awkward, but like
An awkward teenager that has too much power.
and has not all of his screw. He doesn't have all of his brain Legos.
Right. Yeah.
There's a deep cut
That was
for
a
who
deep-
gets that
that-
one.
yeah.
So okay, and that's not a reference to Star Wars Legos. If you thought that you understood the reference,
Yeah, it's not.
It's not that.
You dummies.
It's just from a YouTube video. Okay. So yeah, that's number 10. It's the worst Star Wars movie, hands down. Other than maybe the Attack or the Clone Wars movie. Don't remember that one too much.
All right,
That one
what's
might
number
be worse.
9?
Number 9
Get out of our face.
is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It's just again, just like Attack of the Clones, it's boring.
What makes it number 9 instead of number 10? Is it the pod races?
Yeah, so I was actually this movie was they're playing all the Star Wars movies on some channel today.
Yeah.
At least it was really weird. They went from episode 1 to 5, then it stopped on the guide.
Okay.
I'm wondering if tomorrow they're playing like the rest.
Oh,
know what
you
I mean?
mean
Like
it went
6,
1
7.
through 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant it jumped from 1 to
No,
5.
no. It played like they were playing the first 5, and then but not number 6. So I'm wondering if they're doing like 6, 7, 8 tomorrow or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
Anyways,
Or they don't have the rights. Would they have the rights to that yet?
I think if they had the rights to 1 through 5, they'd have the rights to at least 6.
Yeah, I guess 6 would be in there.
Yeah. But the reason why it's not, I was discussing with my dad. You know, he was talking about how disappointed he was in the movies when they came out. He was like, "Man, I wish these 3 would have been better." I said, "I know, I feel you, Dad."
Yeah.
And he was like, I said, "It's just so boring."
Yeah.
Like aside from all the wrongness of them, it's just boring. Like that's the original 3 are just so much fun and classic. And I was like, you know, there are a few redeeming things in the Phantom Menace. Not many,
Yeah.
but there are a few. And can you guess what they are? You already guessed one.
Pod
The
racing.
pod racing scene's pretty good.
The Star Wars fightins.
The fightins.
The fightins with the sabers.
Yeah. And I was because you know that fight scene between Liam Neeson, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul, it's so choreographed.
Yeah.
It's like to where you're watching it, you're like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
It's not a real fight scene. But after watching an hour and 20 minutes of nothing going on, at least it's something visually like, and in the setting that they're, the big room with like the electricity or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool little setting for it.
Yeah. Is the last thing that Darth Maul falls to his death cut in half?
Technically, in canon, he didn't die.
Right. He falls to his death, though.
Okay. No, I mean, I do like the look of Darth Maul. He doesn't have much of a character.
Does he ever say anything?
Yeah, he has a few lines.
He does.
He does. But it's to Emperor. It's like in one scene he speaks, maybe 2.
Wow. Wow.
But he was wasted potential, that's for sure.
Yeah. Are there any good guys of his breed, or is he just a one-off kind of guy?
No, in the Clone Wars TV show, I've only seen that show all the way through one time. I think it was his brother
Oh.
was in it, or someone he knew, but same species, but he was also bad.
Okay. He's just
So-
a bad guy if you get bored.
I guess if you have the look of a demon with
Yeah.
horns coming out of your head, then you're a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speciesist. Stupid George Lucas
Yeah.
and his speciesists.
Yeah.
And you know, well, you know what? No, I think that's going to be my thought corner for today. So I'll leave that one out
All right. Well, I think it's time.
for my thought corner.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. So speaking of my thought corner, let me get my little drum here.
Yeah. Hey, I think we need to cut this one out. Like, in terms of, not cut it out, but like shorten it up a little bit.
Shorten my thought corner up.
No. Your thought corner is wonderful. The theme song, it feels like it's a little slow.
Oh, you want me to go
speed up
faster?
Can you speed it up?
Okay. All right. Has it been the same theme song every time?
It's always the drum. I want a fast drum.
Okay,
Give me the
okay,
fastest drum thing you can do. Faster. 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 Wonderful.
Thank you. My thought corner
Yeah.
is I kind of like Liam Neeson in this movie.
Do people not like him?
I like no.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think because people think he's boring.
Okay.
But I like.
I think it's his writing.
I think yeah, exactly. And let me rephrase that. I don't necessarily like Liam Neeson's portrayal. I kind of like the character of Qui-Gon. I like the idea of the character of Qui-Gon.
I see.
I like that like he rebels against everything that the Jedi do. He's like they like tell him to do something. He's like, no, I'm gonna do what I want.
I see.
I don't know. I kind of like that idea. There's RLM made a good point in their review where it's like Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan their characteristics should have been switched.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn should have been the level-headed, wise mentor, and Obi-Wan be like, I want to train this kid. Let's bring him on, and then that would give more depth to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
His failure, because really it's just like he just owes Qui-Gon he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. So I like that idea of like a Jedi being like, no, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm not gonna listen to the Jedi Council. So that was like I do like that theme or that idea in the Phantom Menace. I will give George Lucas credit for that.
Okay.
So that's my thought corner.
Okay.
I agree with it or not, I don't care.
I don't. Yes. Yes. Oh. It was so fast it sounded like one hit.
Okay.
Number 7?
Yeah, what's
No.
number 8.
Number 8.
You go.
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
The third one.
Yes. So what are your thoughts on Revenge of the Sith?
I like man, I don't know.
You not like anything about it?
This is the one where R2D2 flies, right?
He flies in Attack of the Clones. I think he does use his little jetpack thing at one point in this movie.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
What is there good about this one? Oh, you kind of get emotional. You can kind of there's like some like part
There's
of you
some
that you kind of
things.
feel bad for Padme
You kind of feel,
having a baby.
there's some dialogue in the last fight scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin that's pretty like, oh man, okay.
You should have
I
taken
feel
the
for-
higher ground.
I feel for you, Obi-Wan, when he's like yelling. He's like, "You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you."
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
This one's a little bit more like entertaining than the other two. There's a little bit more going on of like interest in this one.
Yeah, it starts to pick up pace.
Yeah, it's a little bit faster paced, I think. But at the same time, it still has just all the tropes of the prequels that make the prequels bad, like
Yeah.
overuse of CGI,
Yeah.
bad acting other than Ewan McGregor and Ian McDonald. You got like misinformed like scenes. So like when Anakin tells Mace Windu that they found the Sith Lord,
Yeah.
he's just like, okay, and they just start walking. It's like, no, let's like pick up some excitement here.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's still so like static and boringly shot and like
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I don't like that Yoda uses a lightsaber. I think it's kind of weak, and it just has all the bad stuff, but like a few shimmers of light here and there.
Yeah. A glimmer of hope.
A glimmer of hope. It's definitely the best of the prequel trilogy, but still bottom 3 of all Star Wars movies. So,
All right.
okay. I say the next one.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
It's The Last Jedi.
It's The Last Jedi.
Nice. I know some people just absolutely hate The Last Jedi and would probably put it on the same level as the prequels.
I don't think it deserves that.
I don't either. Why? Why do you explain why you believe that?
So I understand the hate about it in terms of it being like a bad Star Wars movie, but it's still a fine movie. Like it's interesting.
Okay, yeah,
At
right.
least. Like maybe it breaks too many rules that they shouldn't have. But I was entertained. It wasn't boring.
Yeah,
It
it's the longest of the Star Wars movies so far.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I think whenever people ask me what my thoughts are on The Last Jedi, I always tell them it's half of a good movie.
Yeah.
So you have 3 plot threads going. You have Rey and Luke.
Mm-hmm.
You have Rose and Finn going
Yeah.
on their little adventure.
That should have been cut out.
Well, yeah, and then you have the rebellion running from the Empire. I'm just
Yeah.
going to use classic Star Wars terms because I don't like the Resistance or whatever the New Order or the First Order. So, and I know some people disagree with this, but Luke and Rey, fantastic stuff. I in my mind, that is the most logical thing that would have happened to Luke. Is that he would have been like, this stuff is stupid and I need to leave it behind. Like, I know a lot of people who grew up with like spin-off comics and like the original episode 7, 8, 9
Yeah.
are like, that's not Luke's character. Luke would never do that. But if you take all that away and you just look at the movies as the movies, it's like, no, it is in Luke's character. If you watch Luke in Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
at the end when they win and he burns his father's body and like he's looking on at the ghosts of like Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin.
Yeah.
He just like looks like he doesn't care. he's just like sitting there and like he kind of has a smile on his face, but like it doesn't seem to be doing anything for him anymore.
Yeah.
And
his
like,
dad is it is Anakin. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
huh?
Kind of he's Darth Vader's his pops.
Yeah, like
So he's kind of just a big butthole.
yeah, a little bit.
He's got that in his DNA.
Right. And to me, Luke has always been like good should win over evil. But like the Jedi aren't like this glimmering example of good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he says it in The Last Jedi, and I thought it was a really good point. Is like the Jedi were built on like failures and like like all these people like hypocrites and stuff. It's like, yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And like if Luke is truly focused in on like the good of the universe or the good of the world, like I think he would see through the cracks of the Jedi Order and be like, yeah, you know what? I just kind of want to leave that behind. Like, let's burn that and let it go. So I like love everything with Luke in that movie. I love his little interaction with Yoda at the end, the ghost Yoda.
Yeah.
That's great. The stuff with Rose and Finn, dumb. Hate it.
Yeah.
Should have been Rose and Poe. I'm sorry, Finn and Poe.
Finn and Poe.
Yes. And they should have like snuck. Just don't even go to the casino planet.
Yeah,
just sneak onto the ship and have like a little heist thing going on.
Yeah. I like that there's a whole planet devoted to casinos.
It's so dumb. That's the like prequel level crap. Is that casino place?
yeah.
And then the rest of the plot, like the rebels running from the Empire, it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't love it, don't hate it. So that's why I always say it's half of a good movie, is because like I really like half of it and I really don't like the other half. It's really weird how like weirdly balanced that movie is. But so that's why I think it has a little bit more good in it than Revenge of the Sith does.
Just a smidge.
I think a lot of people look at Revenge of the Sith, and since it was the best of the 3 prequels, they think, oh, no, it's a good movie. It's not. It's just the best of the 3.
Best of the worst.
It has good things in it, but not enough to make it a good movie.
Yeah.
Same with Last Jedi. I just think there's a little bit more good in Last Jedi than there is in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Sorry, I just talked for a long time there.
No, that's fine. I feel like you needed to vent that out, you know?
Yeah,
you know
I did.
what I mean?
I did. Because every time I try to vent that out to someone, they're just like, no, Last Jedi, stupid. I'm not gonna listen to you. It's like, no, guys, please.
And now they're forced to listen
Now they're
to you.
forced. They're probably like shaking their computer screens and like throwing their phones on the
somebody's
ground.
throwing their phone.
But yeah,
All right.
those are my thoughts.
Next is number 6, which is Solo,
A
Star Wars story. Which I didn't hate this movie.
I actually almost put this at number 5.
Yeah, you asked me if I had any disagreements with your
Yeah.
list, and this was the only one that I thought maybe we could swap it.
Do you want
But
to swap it? We
I
can
don't-
literally swap it right
But
now.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if I should or not. So that's why I kept it there.
Oh, well, hold on. Let's do this. Do you want to switch it?
No, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the two and whether we can keep it in the episode and we're battling it out.
Okay. So this
Who
is either
gets-
our 5 or our 6, and the next one's either our 5 or our 6.
That's right.
Okay. So should we just say both of
We should
them
say
and then
both,
talk about them?
yeah.
Okay. So it's Solo and Rogue
Rogue
One.
One.
Okay. Why were you thinking that maybe Solo is better than Rogue One?
I don't know. I think they're like comparable. So I got to think about like what makes one worse.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, like, so you know what? I feel like Solo is like I thought it was going to be so bad.
Right.
And so
And it wasn't.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be. So I don't know how to, like, maybe I just had such low expectations that it was good.
Right. I think both of them shine in different ways. I actually think Solo's has better characters.
Okay.
Like I think,
Yeah.
and I don't know if
They're
that's
more
because
interesting.
they're more interesting. The characters in Rogue One, I think they tried to make them like, oh, this is a ragtag team of heroes that you really like, and they're all quirky.
Yeah.
They're not all. I couldn't tell you one of their names.
No.
Like
Yeah.
okay, except for I know the girl's name is Jin
Oh.
Urso,
Oh.
and I know the pilot's name is Bodhi, I think.
Really?
But it just reminded me of Point Break, which is why I remember that. But
And then there's a robot.
there's a robot. Yeah, it's like there's a robot. There's a guy with questionable morals. There's a blind guy and his buddy.
Yeah.
But like I don't remember any of their names.
Yeah.
And obviously like we're gonna remember Han and Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
because we're more familiar with them. But there's like Beckett, who is Woody Harrelson's character, and like I liked him a lot in that
Yeah.
movie. And so I think like they, oddly enough, that movie because I thought it was gonna be so bad. I was like I was sitting there watching. I was like, I kind of am digging these characters quite
Yeah.
a bit, and especially with Han, like. You're thinking in your mind, no one can be Harrison Ford at that age.
Yeah.
And it's true, he doesn't live up to Harrison Ford, but he's really good still in that role.
Yeah. Did a fine job.
Yeah, yes. And so I think there's that round goes to Solo. I think Rogue One, I do like it because it's more of an original thing. It's based on like one piece of dialogue from the original movie. And they're like, oh, let's make it into a movie.
Yeah, it's cool. And then you get to see Darth Vader at the end.
Yeah, and him just take out some rebels, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I do like Solo more.
You're changing your mind, huh?
Well, again, I almost put it that way, but I was thinking like probably the mass majority likes Rogue One more, and sometimes I feel like we just take the devil's advocate just to take devil's advocate, but I do think I might like. And here's the thing: I only saw Solo once. I've seen Rogue One at least like 3 times, maybe,
Okay.
and I still think I liked Solo more, just based on the one time I watched it.
I liked the set pieces of Rogue One. I think it felt a little more Star Warsy, surprisingly. I mean, like obviously, Solo had the Millennium Falcon in it,
Right.
but like, I don't know. Yeah, I think I like the story of Solo.
Yeah, it's more of a personal story.
Yeah,
Um,
and I don't know. Yeah, there's some cheesy stuff in.
Oh, for
Solo.
sure.
Both, honestly.
In all Star Wars movies, there's cheesy stuff.
Yeah, I say tied.
A tie
A tie for 5.
and 6. They're just lumped together.
Yeah.
I think another aspect I like of Solo is I like that side of the Star Wars universe, kind of the Mandalorian side of it, where it's like these people aren't good people,
Yeah.
and it's not all about Jedi and the Force
Right.
and all this stuff. It's about just people trying to make their way in the galaxy,
Right.
and they have questionable morals. I don't know. I like
Yeah.
that side of things, and that was a whole movie dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Of like this seedy underbelly of like the Star Wars universe, and I like that stuff. So
Yeah.
I think Solo is just more catered to my likings than, except one thing, and you know this about me.
What's that?
I loved that every single main character in Rogue One died.
That's true. That's what probably put it over the top for both of us.
Yeah, I do love that aspect of it. Me and Philip always say like
This should have just died.
there should be more movies where the entire cast of good guys die. If something is accomplished in the long run.
Justifiable death.
Yes.
Not like they just die.
Right. Yeah. No, they die for a cause.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie was. And I remember sitting there, I was like, they actually had the balls to do this. And I was really happy about it.
Yeah.
So
It needed to happen.
I do like both these movies. I'm going to give it to Solo. You said tie?
I say tie.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. I think we have 4 minutes.
Should we break for a little bit?
I guess so.
Okay.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. Patreon is an electronic transaction service for your favorite
Creative.
creators.
Creators.
Go to Classic Countdown Conversations. Nope. Go to patreon.com/Classic Countdown Conversations.
And give money for us. We need it. 5, 10, maybe 100.
Give us everything you can.
Thank you.
Now back to the show.
All right. Number 4.
Yeah.
And that's you, big boy.
It's me, the big boy Philip.
You big boy.
So number 4 is The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Now, how about this one?
I think this one's good.
You like it?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody was kind of like not sure about it,
Right.
but then the Last Jedi happened. They're like, yeah, well, this
This
movie's
one's
awesome.
great. Yeah, I think like when it first dropped, everyone loved it because it wasn't the prequels.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, it's an actual good Star Wars movie again.
yeah,
Then the like cracks started to show. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's basically just a rehash of A New Hope.
yep,
But that being said, A New Hope works.
yeah,
And so does this. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it's a bad thing, really. There's a few things here and there that I definitely would have changed
yeah,
to make it more of its own thing. But like overall, it's a really entertaining, fun movie.
yeah, yeah. J.J. Abrams was like, hey, you know what? A movie's so nice, let's do it twice.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually on the memo
Yeah.
when they were talking about this movie. No, and J.J. Abrams is really good at making fun, energetic films.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
that's just kind of his.
It's his stuff.
It's his style. So I think he was the perfect person to do this job
Yeah.
of kind of not reinventing it, but kind of getting it back into the mainstream.
Yep.
And I really, before The Last Jedi came about and kind of ruined some stuff, I really like these new characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they
I guess
ain't bad.
it didn't really ruin I didn't like the characters they introduced in The Last Jedi. However, the returning characters I still like.
Yeah.
I like Finn.
Yep.
I know some people who don't like Finn. I think you and I, back to The Last Jedi, we both agreed he should have died in The Last Jedi.
Oh my
correct?
gosh, he should have freaking died.
Yeah.
When he ran into the he's supposed to
He was
run
supposed
into whatever those big
Yeah.
things. AT-ATs?
Okay, hold on. Can we go back to The Last Jedi for a minute?
Okay.
And can we just talk about how it should have ended?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, you know how like she leaves Luke, right?
Yeah.
That should have been the last thing we saw of Luke in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. He shouldn't have.
He should have
the world.
Yeah,
at all.
he should have had his little scene with Yoda, and then that was
Yeah.
it. Rey should have taken Kylo Ren up on his offer
Yes.
to start something new.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're gonna go this far with changing the way Star Wars is,
Then do it.
Yeah.
Don't do Empire versus Rebels anymore. Like, do something new.
Yeah.
Go out and start something new. And I love Kylo Ren. He's a great character. And if they had made him like need to redeem himself from killing his father,
Yep.
then do it.
Yeah.
Like that's a story and a character arc I would have loved to have seen.
Yeah.
Like him kind of leaving the evilness behind him and then dealing with the fact like, crap, I killed my dad.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, and what that would have brought about in his character, I think that would have been awesome. So I think that they should have kind of joined forces, but then like his underlings or whatever been like, well, we're just because you had this epiphany didn't mean that we did.
Yeah,
like we're
right.
still gonna kill these rebels. So then him go down with Rey and try to stop, fight against it.
Yeah.
And then have Finn sacrifice himself to blow up that thing at the end and him save the day.
Right. Absolutely.
And that would have been so much better in every, and again, I kind of rushed through that.
Yeah.
I could probably make it sound a little bit better, but like that would have kind of put a bow on like every single thing in that movie
Yeah.
that needed to be, I don't know.
What's the girl's name that saved him?
Rose.
Saved him in quotes.
Yeah, where she could
shouldn't
have possibly
she shouldn't have
killed
existed.
both. Yeah,
Not at all.
again, it should have been Finn and Poe in that movie, and then they could have had a nice little moment. Finn and Poe, they're driving towards a thing, and Poe veers off, and Finn keeps going.
Yeah.
and over the headset, Poe's like, "Finn, what are you doing?" And he basically says like, "We're not going to have to deal with them anymore after this." And
Yeah.
then him fly into the thing, sacrifice himself, and then it's sad because Poe lost his buddy.
Yeah, but it's wonderful.
But it's a wonderful ending and conclusion. And then for the ninth one, again, I don't know what the ninth one's going to be about because I haven't watched any of the trailers. Bring in Admiral Thrawn, which I don't know who you know. If you
I don't know
who
who that is.
Admiral Thrawn was the original villain in the books of 7, 8, and 9.
Oh.
And he was an Imperial general
Okay.
that was he didn't have any force powers or anything like that. He was just extremely smart and strategic.
Okay.
So they weren't up against a Sith Lord. They were up against just this alien dude
Yep.
that was super smart, and they outsmarted the heroes. And it would have been great to
Yeah.
bring him in for the ninth one. Kylo Ren be on the good side,
Yeah.
have that sweet, sweet scar on his face. I love heroes that were once villains,
Yeah.
and they've turned over a new leaf. I love that character archetype.
Because then you never know if they're gonna turn on you.
Yeah. And then maybe him sacrifice himself for Rey at the
Yeah.
end of the ninth one or something.
That's probably what's gonna happen anyway.
But I don't think it's going to be earned at this point.
Right. I agree.
So, anyways, sorry, that was just my little rant. Anyway, back to Force
Yeah.
Awakens.
So Force Awakens is good because it doesn't break any of the rules.
It doesn't break. Yeah, it doesn't break any of the rules, and you like where it ends.
Yeah.
You like kind of where the characters are at and like what's going on and stuff like that.
Then you're excited for the next chapter.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to Last Jedi, I'm not excited for the next chapter.
It might be good. Who's directing the
I
newest
think
one?
Abrams.
I was gonna say I think it is too.
And I just have to say, and I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot on this episode.
Good. Stop it.
I think the lightsaber fight at the end of Force Awakens
Yeah.
may be my favorite duel in any of the movies.
Is that with Rey?
It's with Rey and Kylo.
Okay.
I just love the setting. It's at night. It's in the snow.
Yeah.
And it's not from you come from Anakin Obi-Wan
yeah.
where they're like jumping like 20 stories onto lava floating platforms.
Yeah.
And it's like this isn't realistic anymore. It's like so grounded compared to that. They're just
Yeah.
like I think the most athletic thing that happens is Rey like runs up a wall at one point and he
Yeah.
kind of slices up at her.
Yeah.
But it's still like, oh yeah, that I could do that. You know what I mean?
I'd like to see that.
Okay, I couldn't do that, but it didn't like suspend my disbelief at
Yeah.
all. So no, I think this was a good stepping stone into something new that they haven't really followed up with since.
Yeah.
So
I
it
feel
makes
like
me a little sad. But
I feel like this third one is gonna. I don't know.
you
I
think
don't
it's
know
going to correct the?
I don't think it'll correct the wrongs, but it'll be more like
More
The
like
Force Awakens.
Okay, I hope so. I don't want this to end on a bad note.
We'll see. Doesn't matter because Disney will keep churning them out. They just spent a bunch of money for Star Wars land. So,
Do you want to move into something that will never, ever be tainted?
are you talking about CCCCC?
Yes. Let's do that before we get in our top 3.
Okay.
Cappy?
Hey.
Hey, Cappy.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
All right, I have a few options for you here.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, you want to explain it?
Yeah.
Explain what we're doing.
I'm
This
taking
episode's
the-
kind of been all over the place.
been
but
all
I don't
over
really
the
care.
place. I take Daniel's imagination and I take Amazon's reviews and I tell you what to buy. That's the most succinct way I can think about saying what this is. All right, Daniel's given me a piece of paper that he's written an object upon, and I will close my eyes and I will pick that one. And it is a body pillow of Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Which I do love. I do love that. And I would buy that for Christmas for myself.
I'm actually really glad you grabbed that one.
So,
Because the rest of them were a little risky.
a little risky?
Yeah.
A little risque?
Like 2 of them. What were they
Okay.
again? One of them was definitely risque. The other ones, never mind. It was just one that was kind of risque. And I'm glad you didn't grab it.
Okay. All right. So I do have to say,
Is there such thing?
it finishes my search.
Oh, okay.
So there's a possibility.
Okay.
And by golly, there's not a.
Is there?
Oh, no, there's not.
Dang it.
There's not a full body pillow, but
Okay.
there are
Yeah.
pillows
There-
of Danny DeVito's face.
Yes.
Just
Let
smiling
me see.
away.
Let me see.
I mean, I might get them for your Christmas.
Okay.
For you,
All right.
so I don't know.
It's fine. Good with me.
Man, there's a lot of good ones too. There's also a Nicolas Cage one, which I like, that says "See you in my dreams."
Okay. I like that one too. I like that it's not like you're saying it to Nicolas Cage. It's like he's saying it to you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look at. Let's look at the top rated
Okay.
Danny DeVito
Pillow.
pillowcase. This is by Mary Color, and it's kind of like. It's a funny texture. It looks very shiny.
Okay.
It kind of looks like, those like, yeah, it's like gold on the outside. It's like something you would make at Joanne Fabrics or something.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how to explain it very well.
I have that one cat shirt, the one that we put on Patreon.
Yeah, something like that.
Does it look like that
Yeah,
material? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Here we go.
What's the top review?
Top review.
Yep.
It says amazing in bed.
Okay.
And it says my wife asked me to choose between her and the pillow. # recently single. So very good. Very good. This one, mom of 3, says well made and very funny. And she says, just a warning. This is just a pillow cover. That is a good warning. Thank you. I wouldn't have known. I still need to get a pillow insert so I can enjoy this amazing sequin.
Oh, so right now she's just putting the case over her head while
Yeah,
she's sleeping,
Danny
so that
DeVito
she looks
pillow
like
cover.
DeVito.
This cover is well made and will be very entertaining on your couch. Does it do something?
I think if it dances,
Oh, wait, here. Hold on. Does she talk? That's the sound. That's the
Oh.
sound of Danny DeVito's face on a pillow.
is that like her beard rubbing up against it?
No,
or-
that's her hand.
Okay.
That's gross if it was her beard.
Are you shaming women with beards?
Yep.
You're women beard shaming?
I'm woman beard shaming.
Wow.
Okay, so there is one star
Okay.
review by Natalie. Natalie says terrible. Absolute garbage. I was so excited to get this for my friend who loves Danny DeVito. Not what advertised at all. Sequins do not reverse and several missing. Strings hanging. Zipper doesn't work well. Don't
Okay.
waste your money on this
Okay.
crap. Hey, you know what? Clean up your language,
Well,
Natalie.
did she not say crap?
She says crap.
Oh, okay.
And I'm very upset that she said crap.
I think maybe Natalie was just a bit too high strung there.
I think Natalie's friend probably was high strung, and she felt bad about giving them so much.
Her
so
friend
much
made
crap for a
Natalie's
gift.
Natalie's friend made her make that review right in front of her.
I bet. So anyway,
I'm Natalie friend shaming. That friend sucks. Get rid of her.
This was CCCC, and I'm Cappy, and I approve of Danny DeVito pillowcase cover
Okay, cool, good. I'm glad.
by Mary Color on Amazon.
I'm glad.
There are almost 100% 5-star reviews.
That was definitely the best one of the options. So I'm glad that you picked it.
Me too. So what's next?
What's next? It's
Number 3.
me turn. Okay, so we're in the OG trilogy, the original trilogy.
There's only 3 movies left.
So quick, guess what order we're gonna go in. If you're smart, you probably know. But not to say that I think this one definitely is the weakest of the original 3. It does have a few things in it that aren't the best. That's why I think this and Force Awakens are pretty close because like they're really good.
Yeah.
But there's a few things here and there that you could probably switch around and it would be better.
Yep.
So our number 3 is the third ever Star Wars movie made, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
What is your... here's the thing about this one is when I was younger, it was my favorite. Was this your favorite as a young lad?
Probably because it like kind of sums everything up.
Okay,
You
so
know what
you
I'm
liked
saying?
you liked closure.
I like closure.
I liked Luke's green lightsaber,
That too.
When
I
I
did
was
like the
younger.
green lightsaber
Yeah.
a lot.
and I still do.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, his green lightsaber is much better than the blue one.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What makes it so much cooler?
I think it's because it was so like with the first 2, it was just blue and red,
Yeah.
like both movies, and then this one, you're like, oh, green.
You could
What?
have different
You could
colors?
have another one. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was kind of this newfangled gadget. What do you like about this movie? Other like what about it being like kind of the closure of the trilogy? Do you like?
I don't know. Just sums up the story.
Okay.
Everything's good. You know, you get to see the ghosts, right?
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, you get to see that.
The Force ghosts.
You're kind of asking me questions I don't really know the answer to.
Okay. What do you like about this movie?
I don't remember it very well.
don't remember
I
it
don't
very
think
well?
I've seen it since I was about 10.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen any of the originals since about 10.
Really?
Yep. I don't really care to watch them.
You haven't watched Empire in your
don't
in
really
your-
care.
in your adult life? Okay.
So just get past this, please.
You don't want to talk about Star Wars anymore?
I'm done with Star Wars. I'm done.
Then I'll talk about it.
I remember the new ones because I've seen them recently.
So I'll talk about the good things, and then I'll talk about a few things that aren't as good in this.
Yeah, what makes this one third?
Okay,
third
so
best?
First off, let's talk about Jabba's palace and how awesome it is.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of puppets, and it's great. I like the look of Jabba, obviously, and I kind of like that. It's weird. This movie's weird. It's like almost 2 movies. It's let's free Han. That ends. Let's defeat this other Death Star. It's almost like it's like 2 different segments.
Yeah.
Which is why it doesn't flow as well for me as one movie. Anyways, though, I love everything with Luke and Darth Vader in this movie. Luke has accepted that his father is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So his next, again, going along with Luke's character, let's turn him good. I know that there's good left in him, so
Yeah.
I'm going to exploit that and try to get him to join the rebellion.
Come on back.
And I love that. I love that, like, Luke, even though he's gone through this hugely traumatic thing, like, he still looks for the good in the universe and people and life. I love that. And just kind of the whole, like, last segment of the movie when it's, like, him, the Emperor, and Darth Vader. And just that whole dynamic is really good. I love all the space battle stuff in that movie. It's just a bunch of models, and it's great. It's so well. Just those people were just so talented making that at that time.
When Is this the first time you see Force lightning?
Yes.
That's pretty cool too.
It is cool. You're like, whoa. Yeah, the Emperor is awesome in this
Yeah.
movie. He's so ugly, and my favorite thing, he falls down a hole at the end.
He does.
So I think the main problem that people have with this movie are the Ewoks.
Oh.
I don't hate the Ewoks. They're fine. I think something that would have made them better is if when they're fighting the stormtroopers and the Empire at the end,
Yeah.
show like the spear is actually going through the armor. I know that might be like a little brutal, but it's like it just looks like it looks unrealistic when they're just like hitting them with rocks and the stormtroopers are like falling down and stuff.
Yeah.
But if like you showed that like, oh, these things are savages and they actually know like how to fight,
Yeah.
and then it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, a spear just went through that stormtrooper's chest. I believe that
Yeah.
killed him.
Yeah.
So I wish that whole segment was handled a little bit better. Han isn't given like anything to do in this movie. It's like they free him. It's like, oh great, hang out with some bears the rest of the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Part of me wishes that Han wasn't in this movie.
Oh. He's just dead.
That he kind of, part of me wishes he would have died in the previous movie. But at the same time, he's really good in Force Awakens. So
That's true.
I don't know about that trade-off. But I think like a lot of things that make Star Wars great is in this movie. Like a lot of those themes and elements and characters and stuff like that. They just took a few missteps here and there.
Yeah.
But overall, I'd give it like a B plus,
okay.
maybe an A minus.
Yeah.
So that's why it comes in at number 3 is because our next two, hard to find some faults in them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So number 2,
which one's it gonna be?
which one? It is just Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Just Star Wars.
The original Star Wars, 1977. I guess technically it's A New Hope, but it came out as just Star Wars in 1977, so that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. Come on now.
Now, what
Which
do you
means that everybody knows what this first
Everyone
one
knows
is.
what number 1 is.
Yeah.
Even before this list, I bet you 60% of people were like, I know what number 1 is.
Because I feel like you've already said it too.
I've probably already said how much I love that movie, but let's talk about this one because this one's phenomenal as well. I want to hear what you guys say
I
about
had already told you.
Star Wars. Well, I mean, I guess we could talk about just like the cultural impact that this movie made
Sure.
in pop culture.
Sure.
I mean,
Hey, you know what? One thing that I like about Star Wars, original Star Wars,
what?
bringing back the old classical music style of things.
What do you mean by that?
So in the 80s, it was like basically all just, let's play that pop music in our movies all the time.
Oh, I see.
We don't need to have no scores.
Oh, okay.
And Georgie Lucas decided that he wanted,
A big
a good,
theme.
a big old orchestra,
Yeah.
and it's sweet.
Oh, yeah. No.
And I think without it, this movie would have sucked.
Yeah.
100%.
That is a big. Do you know a whole lot about the making of this movie?
I know everything about it, Daniel.
You do?
No, of course I don't.
So, yes, the music was a huge part of that.
Yes.
In fact.
Also, if it would have been pop music, it would have been the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
And Guardians, it works for Guardians. Let's not bash on that movie because the soundtrack works for that film. But yeah, you're right. No, I don't think Star Wars would be what it is today without the music. Mm-hmm. Like I think that kind of cements it and like
Being awesome.
this is something on a different level.
yeah.
They. I don't know what I'm saying right now.
You asked me if I knew anything about.
No,
the making
yeah,
of the
okay.
movie.
So they shot it all, right?
Yeah.
And then the editors basically made it work.
Yes.
It was anything
yes,
that George Lucas
yes,
did. He like
yes, I
shot
do
all
know
the
about that.
footage, and then the editors were like, "Oh no!" They're like ripping out their hair and stuff, and then they're like, "Okay, we made it into something." So I think that, along with the music, is why that movie is as good as it is today,
Yeah.
and the performances as well. Like,
Yeah.
not to knock that or anything like that, but and the writing definitely isn't as bad as the prequel writing in this movie. Like, I mean, it's actually good, but there's themes in this movie that are very, I think, personal to me as just a person. But like, I think a lot of people can relate to just Luke's kind of the demeanor he has at the beginning of the movie, where it's like, I'm longing for something bigger than what I have, you know. But he's kind of stuck in this place in life. He's stuck at the farm. He's stuck working with his uncle.
I see.
And he, you know, there's the best, maybe top 10 best scenes in cinema history. When he walks out and he's watching the two suns setting
Oh, yeah.
and the music's swelling and he's kind of he's looking off and like he's wishing for something. But at last he looks down and walks back inside because he knows he can't leave
Yeah.
his life. And I just think that there's something very relatable about that to a lot of people. I mean, you and I, we're, you know, Christians. So like this life that we're living, like we long for something more. We long for like the Lord and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Not to get too spiritual on this comedy
Jeez.
podcast, but yeah, I think, and then obviously you get introduced to characters like Han Solo, Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, you know,
Yeah.
all them, and it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful world, wonderful characters, and just a wonderful story about good and evil.
Yeah. And it's like the first time that it was like a good space.
Yeah,
Good space stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's Star Trek, I guess.
Yeah, it's Star Trek, but that was more.
It's heady.
It was more. Yeah, it was more like problem solving.
Yeah.
and more like human morality, I guess. Whereas this, it's more fantastical.
Yeah.
and it's basically just fantasy.
Yeah.
with some space stuff thrown in.
Fantasy space.
I mean, you got the wizard, you know, Obi-Wan. You have the princess
Mm-hmm.
that they have to go save. I mean, it's basically fantasy with some Western stuff thrown in.
Yeah.
And then some sci-fi paint over top of it.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
Fantastic
what
movie.
makes it number two?
Maybe the most influential movie of all time.
So what makes it number two, though? For real.
For real, for real?
For real, for real.
That's not as good as our number one. Just straight up.
All right. Well, what makes number one number one?
Yes, number one's The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I think, you know, you talk to a lot of people, like, okay, my parents, for instance.
Hey, can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
It should have been Empire Strikes Out. You know what I'm saying?
It should have been a baseball movie.
Yeah, it should have been a baseball movie. New
But they used
directions.
their lightsabers as bats.
Oh, it would have been good. What a good laugh.
There's
they'd
that
have.
in Attack of the Clones. Count Dooku like shoots his lightning at Yoda, and he kind of catches it in his hand, and it
Yeah.
forms this little ball thing.
Yeah.
That could be the baseball.
That could be electric baseballs.
and Yoda's throwing them at the lightsabers, and they crack them off. I could see it. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah. Be a great movie.
Empire Strikes Out. Maybe we can make a parody.
Maybe.
No, I think so. I debate with my parents all the time about this. They think the first one's best.
Really?
And you know what? And Mom, Dad, I love you guys. Nothing against you, but your arguments just don't hold up.
Is it whack?
Well, they're always, and they say this about a lot. They say this about like Indiana Jones and Back to the Future and all this stuff. They say, oh, it's best because it's the original.
That's not an argument.
Well, and like I get where they're coming from. It was something new. It was something fresh. It was something, you know, unique. Yeah, but you can still build on that.
Yeah.
And Empire does. Like, this is probably the best sequel ever made.
Yeah.
I would go out on a limb and say.
Toy Story 2, dog.
I think I like Empire more,
I
but
like Toy Story 2.
and Toy Story 2, top 10 sequels, Toy Story 2 is in there. Maybe top 5. We haven't made that list yet, but which maybe we should plan on that
I don't
sometime
know how
soon.
many sequels I like. If there's 10 of them.
I could think of about 10 right now that would probably be on there.
Okay.
But yeah, I think
That's very fast. I don't know how your brain worked that fast. I think you're lying to
no,
me.
I'm being for real.
Name them off right now.
But then if we do the list, then
It's very convenient.
I'll name them off afterwards. How about that?
You tell me a lot of things that you're going to do after
Well,
the
you
show.
got to
and it
remind
never
me.
happens.
You have to remind me. I always forget. You know how forgetful I am.
Me too. That's the problem.
I know.
Anyway, you're not forgetful at all when it comes to movies.
I am like when I say like, "Hey, let's do this in 5 minutes." I'll forget it. I'll forget it.
Anyway.
Especially when we talk about 100 different things between now and then.
Yeah. So anyway, your parents are stupid. Apparently.
No.
That's what Daniel said. Word for word, Daniel said my parents are stupid.
So the reason why Empire is so good, as all sequels that are good do, they take the existing property, the existing characters, story, threats, whatever, and they raise the stakes. Now, don't get that confused with you make everything bigger,
Yeah.
because that bigger is not always better.
Yeah.
But Empire, what it did really well, best thing Empire did was split up the characters. It split Luke off from the rest of the gang.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. You gotta have them be doing different things in that movie. Luke, you get to know a lot more about his character in this movie. When he's training with Yoda, he's asking Yoda questions and stuff,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, I understand how Luke thinks.
Yeah.
I understand how he processes things and how he goes about things through what he's saying to Yoda. You get to see a lot more of Han and Leia and their relationship blooming. And
Gross.
that, well, hey, one of the best love stories in cinematic history.
Whoa.
And because here's the thing: if you were to
Casablanca.
Casablanca's up there, I'm not arguing that, boy.
What a great ending to a movie is Casablanca.
Well, you know what's great is like the friendship is the real love at the end of that movie.
That's wonderful.
He says, "This is the beginning to look." Whatever he says, this is going to be the beginning of a great friendship.
Yeah. And he says, frankly,
That's Gone with the Wind, sir.
frankly,
That's Gone with the Wind.
frankly.
Frankly, what?
That's what he just says frankly a lot. That's weird.
Okay.
He says it a lot.
We also need to do top 10 classic movies at some point because I think both those movies would be on there. But anyways, you get a lot more Darth Vader as the villain, and which is great. And he seems so evil in this movie. Like when he walks into a room, you're just like, oh yeah, yes,
Yeah.
Darth Vader. The Empire actually seems very threatening in this movie, which is something that you don't really get in the first and third one. I think like if Empire was just a mediocre sequel, then we wouldn't look at Star Wars as this big thing. I think it would
Yeah.
be more so of like a Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
think
like,
it-
it's good, but
Yeah, but you can't make like an expanded universe out of that.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Empire Strikes Back is so good is what made it into this phenomenon.
yeah, I could see that. How many years was it between the two movies?
3. So it was 77, then 80, then 83.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, they just beef up everything in this movie and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Does everything a good sequel should do.
Well,
Sorry, people, for having to listen to me so much on this episode.
if your co-host was Lauren, it would have been better. More listened to. So you know what time it is?
Yes,
Joyment.
enjoyment time.
Joyment. And today, our joyment is brought to us by. Man, I was really hoping we had like 300 reviews, but instead we just have one new one.
Oh, we have one new one.
Just one new one.
Who's it by? Who's it from?
This one's by Daryl.
Daryl. Okay.
And he says, it's unfortunate. He gave us a bad review.
Oh, he gave us a bad one.
He gave us a bad review.
Oh, no.
But it's all right. It keeps us.
It keeps us from getting big egos.
Yeah, and you know what? It makes it look like it's not just our friends who listen. So
What'd he say?
He said, he said, man, this podcast is so boring. It made me fall asleep,
Oh.
and I slept like a log, and then I woke up in the fireplace.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So it was a really weird joke that he did.
That was a good pun.
I mean, was it though?
It was.
No, it wasn't. Daryl sucks.
Oh, Daryl.
I hate Daryl.
Daryl.
Daryl,
Keep listening, please. It gets better.
get out of here, Daryl. I don't even want your dirty Daryl money.
Didn't we get on to U.S. something?
Yeah, so, I haven't been checking that as much.
But last time you checked,
Last time I checked, we were like 255 rated in the U.S.
America for
of TV and reviews.
so that's pretty cool.
Movie reviews, I should say.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty all right. But you know what? It's all fake.
Oh,
This life's all fake. It's all meaningless. I'm getting all Ecclesiastes honest today.
yeah. Unless you spread the word of God, then this life is worthless.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Don't say well. If we're not building the
That's
kingdom
not
of
the
heaven,
there we go. That's better. Yeah.
then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. There we go.
You know what I recommend today? The Bible.
Okay.
Go out and read the Bible.
The Bible.
The Bible.
So yeah, that's our enjoyment,
Okay.
or just enjoyment segment. Sorry, I got a little sassy at the end there.
Yeah. Sorry, Daryl.
Daryl did.
Daryl, I hope you keep listening. I hope that you change your mind.
Daryl really ruffled my feathers. I didn't like it.
Okay. Thank you for listening to Classic Countdown Conversation. Sorry that this episode was kind of all over the place. A bunch of stuff happened. Like we had to help out with something right in the middle of recording.
Yeah.
And then we heard some yelling from upstairs that
Yeah.
we had to kind of stop for a second.
There was a murder.
There's a murder inside this building, which really kind of puts a downer on the day.
It does. Yeah. There's a lot of blood on my hands.
But the murder was done by Philip. He did a murder.
That was the thing that happened upstairs that we needed help with.
Yeah, it was the murder. Man, we should be Breaking Bad. We should be part of Breaking Bad
Yeah.
universe. So again, sorry that this episode may have seemed kind of like, I don't know what the right word is,
Just off kilter.
off kilter. Next week will be a little bit better.
I also got like 5 hours of sleep last night.
Oh, really? You didn't sleep well?
No, I just had to get up super early.
Oh, that's right, because you had to take the car over.
And Lindsay and I thought, we'll just, we'll go to bed late and then sleep afterwards. And then I was awake, but now I'm feeling it.
Speaking of Lindsay,
Yeah.
next week's episode,
Yeah?
that's our teaser. Lindsay's back
Lindsay's back.
to do a continuation of an episode that she helped us out with last year. So
That's right.
that's our teaser.
Christmas musicals.
Okay. No, I guess I wonder if a lot of Christmas movies are musicals. I guess.
They are.
I guess that would be a pretty good list. Oh,
Turn
sorry.
your
Okay.
phone off.
Literally, I was just flipping this on and off, and it just happened to be when it was on that went off.
Whatever.
Okay. Well, thank you. We love you. Please come back and listen to some more.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you too.